Thank you guys again for having us here. Like I said, I've been part of the Central Region football 24 years as a coach. I played here as well in the 90s. And to see an event like this is exciting for us because it gives the kids a chance to experience what a media day might be like. And again, thank you guys for all the coverage. Who I have with us here, we've got 3 seniors with us here. Danny Lewis here, number 1. He's also our class president in Thomasdale. So like I said, 4.7 GPA. He kind of leading on and off the field for sure. Mike Davis, number 12, our middle linebacker. Mike missed in his last season with some injuries, so excited to have him back healthy and full speed. Then down on the end, Cole Leinberger, who has been in the program for 5 years now. Plays an 8th grader. Like I said, they'll miss these 3 guys and they'll leadership that they bring to take each and every day.
Coach, last year was a bit of a, I won't say disappointment, but it's not accustomed to what we're seeing from Dale. Going into this year, do you see any improvement, any difference from that team to this team?
You know, I think if you look at last year's team, we were very young. We only had 14 seniors. We had some injuries early in the year that kind of put us behind the 8 ball early. What we saw from our team last year was that they didn't quit. I think it was only 1 game and really weren't not in. If you look at all the other games, man, we were playing right there to the 4th quarter. That competitive drive that they had was just missing a little bit of that bump. And you know, I think looking at this year's team, we returned 22 seniors, 17 starters. I think we've got a chance to be back to where Thomasville is accustomed to being. Again, you heard Coach Hall, Coach Irby, Coach Stoops. You know, the Central District, week in and week out, is a gauntlet. You know, thank God Superman graduated from down there in Dinwiddie, but Dinwiddie's still going to be Dinwiddie. And Coach Mills has always put a great program in the field. So what we challenge our guys is to go into the weight room this offseason, get better as a unit, not so much as an individual. And they've really brought into that. They made huge strides in the weight room, but what we saw them doing outside of the weight room, being together, building those bonds outside of school, that level of commitment to each other means more than me than anything. And I think the X's and O's will be great, but that sense of brotherhood, that sense of togetherness is what Thomasville has always been like. And I think that'll take us far into the November very soon.
Fellas, a 2-part question for the 3 of y'all, and I'll start on the defensive side. Y'all were outstanding defensively last year. What did you do well on that side of the ball that you feel like you can take into this season to continue that?
We definitely have a lot of returning starters coming back this year. I feel like we all got bigger, stronger, faster over the offseason, and we're all coming back aggressive and healthy, so we're ready.
I think one of our strong points last year was our physicality. Everybody was physical. You know, we were ready to just beat down the other team. I think we can bring this back next year, or this year, sorry.
I feel like on defense we have a lot of fast guys that find the ball, and I feel like they're going to be even faster this year.
And on the flip side, the offense probably wasn't on the same level as the defense was last year. What do y'all need to do on that side of the ball to try and catch up and become a more balanced team?
Yes, sir. I feel like we need to be able to throw the ball and run the ball at the same time. I feel like we need to have a balanced offense and have a carry pretty far.
During the offseason, the offense put a lot of work in doing watching film, lifting, and I definitely seen a big improvement over the offseason, so I'm ready for this year on offense.
I think over the offseason, our offense got a lot more chemistry. You know, we guys get to know each other a lot better. I think we'll be a lot better for that.
We have some amazing rivalries in the Richmond area, Verona, Holland Springs, obviously Dale and Burt. What does that rivalry mean to each of you?
Just playing it 3 years now. It's the first year I never really played, but it's kind of like a good rivalry, and like we just go at it, and it's always a good game, real competitive, aggressive, and can't wait for it.
Yeah, it's always a big turnout, and it's always a lot of chippiness and cheap shots for sure. But I feel like it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to have a big part of it.
I love it. Both my parents went to Bird, so I've always experienced that Thomasville Bird rivalry. I get to play for Dale. You know, I like to mess with them a little bit to get better nowadays. But yeah, it just means a lot to me growing up and seeing it, and watching my brother play the rivalry too.
I hope they're wearing your jersey number, not Bird colors, when y'all are playing.
So they flipped in a heartbeat.
And that's the beautiful thing about that Dale Bird rivalry. You will have a lot of moms and dads. One might have went to Dale, one might have with Bird. And again, that rivalry has grown over the years. You know, it's year in and year out when you see 5,000 to 10,000 people at a high school football game and saying something. You know, like I said, and for us to go at it, I mean, it's a battle from the opening kickoff to the very end. It doesn't usually have a lopsided event. It's going to be a battle, and I think that's what makes that game so exciting.
Cole and Mike, what makes the guy sitting to your right so dangerous with the ball in his hands?
He's definitely something special. You know, he's shifty, he's fast. You know, whenever he has the ball in his hands, he's definitely doing something with it.
I think it's about mentality, how much work he's put in this offseason to really get to that point, because nobody sees that besides us. You know, I think that's what makes him special, his mentality.
And I think I will follow that up. You know, like I said, Danny was one of the ones that kind of went down late in the season last year for us with an injury, and we lost his competitive nature. He's got a competitive edge. He's like having a second quarterback in the huddle, taking control. This year we have a young sophomore that's going to be starting for us, and Danny and Cole in the huddle, and now Mike's also playing some receiver too. So, like I said, to have 3 seniors in the huddle, kind of helping that young man continue to grow, continue to get better. Like I tell him all the time, I was like, look, we got workhorses in the backfield like NJ Hines and Jaden Height, and guys that can fly on the outside like Michael Flowers and Danny Lewis. So your job's easy, just get the ball to him quickly.
Let's give it up for Thomas Dale, guys.
Thank you, guys.